It's a rare occasion when I boot up a new game and it immediately takes me back to a simpler time. A time where it was just about fun and not giving a shit about anything else. Cruis'n Blast is one of those rare games for me. The second I jumped into it, I felt like a kid again. Cruis'n Blast is just a stupid fun game. The Cruis'n series, it never really took itself serious. Every entry started to get a little bit more crazy and crazy over time. And with Cruis'n Blast, it definitely brings it to the next level of ridiculousness with its tracks that are so full of life and craziness. You kind of wish you could slow down and explore a bit. There's just so much going on. There's always something going on around you. UFOs flying around, dinosaurs, yetis. There are even yetis fighting each other, getting in the way. Explosions, the earth falling apart underneath you. You're flying through the air. It's freaking nuts. The graphics in this game, they're bright and shiny, and I likes it. The game, it's an exaggerated racer, and I feel, the style fits very well. It's an arcade game. So you have several modes to choose from, like the classic arcade mode, where you race on only the 5 tracks from the original raw Thrills arcade release of the game. And then you have Cruis'n Tour, which is where you will most likely spend, the bulk of your time playing the game. So Cruis'n Tour is where you have access to all the brand new tracks made for the Nintendo Switch. You have 6 tours, each with 4 new tracks for, how do we do the math here? I mean, pretty simple, right? 24 tracks. Holy crap. Now, the races in this game are fairly quick. They only last a minute or two each. I mean, sometimes they're over the second you start, and you're just like, holy crap, I want more. But replaying the tracks to earn more money, find the hidden keys, and progress to earning gold in all the tracks is a lot of fun. You start the game out with a handful of actual licensed cars that all handle very well. The vehicles in this game, they feel really balanced with the weight, speed, and acceleration specs for all the cars. Handling turns feels very nice. It's not a simulation game by any means, so obviously it will have a very arcadey feel to it with the way it handles, but it works. I mean, while racing, you could do wheelies to hop over cars, drift in the turns to get a boost. You could destroy other racers. You start having like police cars chasing after you. You could ram them into the wall, into other cars, destroy the racers that you're going up against. It's nuts. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game. But the way each of the vehicles feel, I think anyone can jump into this game and do fairly well and enjoy it. Just the handling, everything going on, it's a lot of fun. Very easy game to play. It just feels that good. So you start the race with some nitro boost you can use, but you can also purchase more with the money you earn racing. And you get more money by finding it, setting records, finishing in a higher place, doing tricks. There's tons of different ways that you can earn money in this game. And I never felt like it was being stingy with how you earn cash. And it's not just used for nitro either. You could buy more vehicles and upgrades, for them with the cash that you get in the game. And you also start to unlock more cars and vehicles as you find some of the hidden keys in the game. Now, these vehicles, they do start to be more wacky stuff instead of licensed cars, like dinosaurs and freaking fire engines and different types of aircraft. The game really does not take itself seriously, and I'm fine with that. It's a video game, right? So, Cruis'n Blast, there is one thing I'm sure, people will kind of criticize or be disappointed with, and that it doesn't feature online multiplayer. Now, it does feature multiplayer, but only split screen and local wireless play. And that's just the way it is. I mean, I would have loved to play this game online with other people, with you guys. I mean, that would have been sweet. But I guess I just have to settle. Screw it. Playing it with my family is the way I played the original Cruis'n games on the Nintendo 64 back in the day. And I am looking forward to playing this with my kids. I mean, I remember back on the Nintendo 64, that was like one of the big things. Not just Cruis'n USA and whatnot, but all the multiplayer games, playing with your friends and family, all sitting around. I mean, it was a blast, And with my family, we've all played this Cruis'n Blast game in the arcade, so I think it'll be pretty cool playing it with them at home. Why the heck not, right? But yeah, definitely would have been cool to have online, but maybe down the road they could add it. I don't know. So Cruis'n Blast, it brings the arcade home, and that's something I have been missing recently with newer releases. quick pick up and play games that don't require a huge time investment to enjoy. But you can spend time over a longer period unlocking everything. And so far, this is probably one of my favorite releases this year. Part of it may be nostalgia for, the Cruis'n series. I don't know. It's just a good game, I think. And I really hope it does well on the Switch and we could see the original arcade versions get an HD collection on the Switch, which we talked about in the previous video. That would be flippin' sweet. Maybe even possible sequels. I would think it would be cool to see like a new Hydro Thunder as well, Rush come out. Those games were sweet as well. I also wouldn't mind seeing more Raw Thrills arcade stuff getting home ports. These guys, they've worked with some interesting licenses for their arcade releases. I don't know if you've seen some of these games, but like Halo Fireteam Raven, Jurassic Park Arcade, Minecraft Dungeons Arcade, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Walking Dead. They even have a Nerf arcade game that I played recently. They're a lot of fun. All the ones I've played from them, I was kind of originally when I saw Raw Thrills and I saw these licenses, I was like, who is this company? And then the more I digged into them and found out the history behind them and, who owns the company and all that stuff, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then actually playing the games in the arcade, they're pretty damn cool. So for sure, I highly recommend picking up Cruis'n Blast if you love arcade-style racers. It was just a lot of fun playing this game. It's simple, it's sweet. Having arcade games at home is one of those things that I think when I have an experience like this where it's a game I played in the arcade and it comes home and it's an arcade game, I don't have to take it too seriously. I can just BS around and play it a bit, here and there. It reminds me of retro gaming back in the day, the NES, the Super Nintendo. And when you would get arcade games released at home, it was like, holy crap, I don't have to go to the arcade and pump quarters in the machine. I could buy one game and I have it. And then all your friends get in the game or people wanting to hang out and play each other in Street Fighter 2 and stuff like that. Like, those days were awesome. And while there's a lot of great games that are released for all these different consoles out there, I have a lot of fun with different releases, but stuff like this where it reminds me of old school gaming and specifically arcade games, I love that, man. And it's sad because arcade games, arcades in general anyway, have, pretty much extinct for the most part. You have a few exceptions and places like Round One, which we have one nearby, and I love going there. And, a lot of the games they get are like takes on, newer franchises or mobile games and stuff like that. When you see something like Cruis'n Blast in the arcade with that Nintendo logo on the machine, it really brings me back to old school arcades. Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but it just reminds me of those times. And I love it, man. I'm happy I bought Cruis'n Blast. If you guys are interested, check it out. I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy it from. Really do appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one.